I am swinging from a 7-story window, throwing parties in a 10 by 7 cell. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Yeah, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'll try to use your body as a life raft, cause if there's room enough for one, there must be room enough for two. I'll sail the good ship you into the sunset, sipping on savory water till my liver turns blue. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Is broadcast in the evening news. I will be relieved. La, la, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'm waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. La, 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 singing, hey, hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Fuck.
Yes, everybody, it is me, and welcome to this fantastic Thursday night here on the Writer's Block, a Muddied Waters Media production. Thank you to all of you who spend every Thursday night spending your evenings with me. There's a lot of things that you could be doing on Thursday night, and I appreciate that you choose to be here with me right here on Muddied Waters Media. Especially, football's back, so you could be watching football, but is it really football if it's the Redskins versus the Giants? Or sorry, the Washington football team versus the Giants? No, it's not. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. First and foremost, allow me to thank the wonderful and fantastic Michael Chad Murray. I think that's actually a real person. Michael Chad Murray? I think that's a person. Michael Murray for the kava I'm drinking today. You are a wonderful person, and I love you dearly. Thank you so much for this kava. To you and to all of you who are here watching, I say, Bula Vanaka. So, we got a big show today. I'm very excited about my guest today, but before we get that, we got to pay the bills. So, let us get started with this episode is brought to you by the Libertarian Party Waffle House Caucus, the fastest growing and second largest caucus in the Libertarian Party, which is weird because we don't do anything. We just have a group in which people post pictures of their food from Waffle House, and there are debates on the proper way to get hash browns. And the correct answer is covered, smothered, and country. If you want to become a member of this fantastic group, all you have to do is go to muddiedwatersmedia.com/store and muddiedwatersmedia.com/store and pick yourself up a Waffle House Caucus button. If you want to become a voting member, get a t-shirt. Get yourself a t-shirt. The Gravy King. Fierce Luxury by Ashley. Fierce Luxury is a high-end bag and accessory consignment store based online. You can consign with them for a 30% fee, which is apparently 20% less than most other consignment stores. I have no idea if that's true, but I don't think Ashley would lie to me. They carry the hottest brands like Louis Vuitton, Channel, Goosey, and Hermes. And you can find them at fierceluxurybyashley.com or in their exclusive Facebook group, Fierce Luxury by Ashley. Adderpan. If you want to watch a play a video game that's going to make you crap your pants and need to talk to a therapist and go on expensive mind-altering substances, Adderpan is the game for you. It is a 5-night style game featuring creepy characters, jump scares galore, and even a few Easter eggs hidden among the game files themselves. Goosey. Expansions are already in progress by the developer and will be available for free as they are released. It is currently available on Windows PC. So people, for $5, for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, you can get a video game that will terrify you for the rest of your life. Caffeine is temporary. Adderpan is forever. So spend that $5 wisely and get Adderpan. Thomas Queter is rolling for state senate because he's still, even though he's rolling and not running, he still runs better than Albany. He pays us to say these things. It's not us. We promise. We promise that it is not us saying these things. If you want to support Tom, all you have to do is go to tomfor52.com. That's TOMFOR52.com. Tomfor52.com. And each month he has meme contests and merch that he is selling or giving away. I'm not really sure. So go to tomfor52.com/FTG and you can support Thomas Queter for state senate and get him into the state senate of New York. And God help me, do they need it there. Mudwater, the most aptly named sponsor we could possibly ever have. If you wake up in the morning and you think, man, I really don't like the acidic taste of coffee, or you might wake up in the morning and say, you know what, coffee is the greatest beverage that's ever been created and nothing can top it. Well, I have news for you. I have something that is more bitter, that has less caffeine, and tastes roughly like a hobo's foot. Mudwater is the drink for you. It's going to, even though it only has 1/7 of the caffeine, it's going to jack you full of energy for most of the day. Anybody that watches a show with Spike on Tuesdays understands this. And it is made with masala chai, or as Spike says, masala hai. Happy Yom Kippur, everybody. Cacao, mushrooms, turmeric, sea salt, cinnamon, and that is it. If you want to make the switch from coffee today, go to muddiedwatersmedia.com/mud. And you can be one of the people who understands what we mean when it say, trust us, add honey. Cumberland Cannabis Co. Look, Tennessee perfected whiskey and country music. And I'm certain other things. And so I'm assuming that when they take a stab at Delta 8 CBD products, they are perfecting that as well. Cumberland Cannabis Co. is a viable, ethical, and effective CBD Delta 8 company. Basically, you're getting weed and you're not going to get arrested. So go to cumberlandcannabisco.com to get this viable, ethical, and effective CBD today. Jack Casey has written some books. I have not read them. If I were a betting man, there's probably a lot of porn. But he says that they are fantasy. He says they're fantasy. I don't know what kind of fantasy he's talking about. I won't read them because if they're terrible, I'm going to feel bad for peddling them to all of you people out there. And if they're great, I'm going to feel bad about all the things that I've said about them. If you take a look at the covers, one's got a smoking ring, which I'm not really sure what that's in reference to. All I know is what somebody told me in a bar once, and a ring don't fill a hole, and that sounds right up Jack Casey's alley. Another one has a sultry-looking butterfly with a knife sticking out of it for some reason, don't know. And the other one, because of who my guest is and the fact that my parents watch this show, I'm not going to tell you what it reminds me of. But let's just say it's filthy, and you can find it at sex shops. And Joe Soloski, he is running for governor of Pennsylvania, which ties in very nicely to my next guest. And if you want to make Pennsylvania mightier than the sword of evil government, you need to vote for Joe Soloski. So if you happen to be in the Pennsylvania region of these United States, vote Joe Soloski in 22. Right? Yeah, 22. And make him the next governor. The first libertarian governor. You guys have the power to make the first libertarian governor in the world in Pennsylvania. And you know it's going to be a step up from whatever crap governor you have right now. I don't even know who it is. But vote Joe Soloski. Now, my next guest is a magician. I don't know if anybody knows this. She has to be a magician because on top of being a devoted wife and mother, and on the PTO, which I think is the same thing as the PTA in other states. Okay, cool. Being the president of the PTA and coaching soccer and coaching T-ball, she has time to be very active in the community and active in the Libertarian Party, and is managing multiple campaigns in the state of Philadelphia, or it might be a Commonwealth? I don't know. It's Commonwealth. Yeah, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. She's right there. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So she has more than 24 hours in a day, or she has slowed time down. I don't know which it is, and I cannot wait to find out with you because I am so excited to know how to get more hours in the day. Please, everybody, welcome with me, Kristine Cousler-Womack.
Hi, guys.
Woo!
Matt.
Said the name right. I was like, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. So, Kristine, thank you so much. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with me. I know that you are a Cowboys fan, so obviously you care very much about this game that's going on this evening.
They both stink, so.
Right, they're both awful. So, I want to know, so I got to start the way I normally do, but I'm really interested in how you get 29 hours in a day, because that's the only logical explanation to all you do. But how is it that you found yourself, what is the story that brought you to the Libertarian Party? Or to the Libertarian movement, even if you're not like so much on the party side of things?
I come from a very political family. My grandmother was I can't believe I'm going to utter these words, a elected tax collector for 45 years as a Republican. So it was, you were a Republican or you were not her grandchild. But when I was with my ex-husband, he was a Republican. We were McCain and Palin, and forgive me for those days. I know better now.
That was the one that changed me.
I actually went to see Sarah Palin talk at the York Fair and had a lipstick Republican pin. It was a whole thing. I regret those days. But anyway, when he didn't win, my ex came to know about Ron Paul. And he's what I like to call my baby steps into the Libertarian Party.
Sure.
He's a great entryway, but he's not what kept me and fully brought me in. I know some other people love him, and that's fantastic. For me, he was like that toddler book to bring me in.
Right.
And so what's funny, though, about my ex-husband is he is now a Bernie bro. So that's a weird transition. So I came in, dabbled in it a little bit with Ron Paul back in like the 08s and stuff like that. And then I actually got very active once I got with my current husband, my love, and we got active in the Gary Johnson campaign in 2016. So I know I've been active since 2019, but I was actually very involved locally with the Gary Johnson campaign. And I say that specifically because the then chair of the York County LP wanted nothing to do with the Gary Johnson campaign. He wanted to focus on his own mayoral campaign in York City. So he was like, you do whatever you guys want to do for Gary Johnson, and we'll do whatever we want to do for my campaign.
And I I've worked on multiple campaigns. I joined the Libertarian Party officially in 2013, and then I left in like 15. And then I rejoined when Spike signed me up for it and paid my dues in 2020. And those have expired, so I'm not even a member of the party anymore. But McCain was what like got me over to the Libertarian Party because I'm from a very conservative neocon household, and my dad, my entire life, talked about how McCain, he's just a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He's no better than those stinking Democrats. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, got it. McCain, bad Democrat, got it. And then he got nominated as the Republican. The GOP nominee for president, and everybody was like, we got to vote for McCain. He's going to be great. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. You've been telling me for the last however many years, I'm not going to say, that McCain was terrible and he's a Democrat, but now we have to vote for him. And, well, he's better than the other guy. I'm like, no, because 2 years ago, he was the devil. And so how is he not the devil today?
Because he's wearing the flag of the team.
Right. He's wearing the right flag, and he got up there, and he was a prisoner of war. So you have to vote for him. No, I didn't. And I voted for Bob Barr, which isn't, that's like the best of three evils, or the lesser of three evils. But that was what started me. I was like, no, I'm not voting for McCain, and I'm not voting for Obama. So I voted for Bob Barr and Wayne Allen Root.
I don't even remember those names.
Yep. So that was how I started. And then I started looking into the Libertarian Party a lot more after that, because I was like, I'm not voting for McCain. I'm voting third party. Screw this. And then my dad blamed me when Virginia went to Obama, because he was like, you voted for McCain. I was like, he lost by more than one vote. It's not me. It wasn't me that did this.
My mother-in-law did that. My mother-in-law did that with the Trump and Clinton. I love her. She is a very left, very Democrat, though. And so, we worked the Gary Johnson campaign, and, we were doing parades, and I literally lost my voice from screaming in the parades, fighting with both sides down the parade alley. And my mother-in-law was like, it's because you voted third party. I'm like, I wouldn't have voted for Hillary Clinton. Like,
right.
It's not just because she has a vagina does not mean I'm going to vote for her. Like, that's not how this works.
No.
And so when Biden won, I was like, so are you going to thank me now?
for voting third party,
winning, because I was the fault for for Clinton losing. So am I now to blame, to praise now for Biden winning? And she was like, I guess that logic flies. And I was like, yeah, it should. I mean, you can't have it one way without having it the other.
I'm looking forward to your thank you card in the mail. Yeah, when I first got into it, there was a special election going on down here in Florida for House of Representatives. The previous guy had passed away, and so they were doing a special, and David Jolly was going against Alex Sink. And David Jolly was like the handpicked guy from the incumbent, the guy who passed away. I don't remember the guy who passed away's name, but he was like on his team, and he had left to go be a lobbyist, and then he was going to come back and take over this seat. And my candidate that I was working for, the Libertarian, he got enough votes that I got yelled at by Republicans and Democrats. And the Democrats were mad at me because I made them lose. And the Republicans were mad at me because I almost made them lose. And I was like, you both can't be mad at me. One of you at least has to be somewhat grateful. So that was... And then after that, it's just been, I'm voting Libertarian every year. I don't care. And I'm not voting for either of the duopoly, the Republicrats. And I am forever going to vote third party until we get fair elections for third parties in this country. Okay, you said that. I was like, somebody else noticed your.
Yeah, someone. Guys, this is not a North Korean leader. This is.
It's also not Marco
Steve,
Rubio.
Yeah, it's not Marco Rubio. It is Steve Carell from The Office that says that's what she said, just for the record.
Right.
With my Dundee right behind it. So.
So.
Yeah, we're an office house. See, party planning committee.
Well, yeah, you're in Pennsylvania. So, from what I understand, and Spike sings your praises, by the way. He said that you collected like a record amount of signatures for the ballot initiative in Pennsylvania.
So Liz collected the record. Liz Terwigler. I think I said that right. Who knows? She collected the most signatures out of everyone in Pennsylvania, but she was a candidate, so she was on a different tallying sheet.
Okay.
I collected the most from volunteers.
Gotcha. Yeah, he said that you knocked on like 2,000 doors and like collected. I'm repeating what
Mike is speaking very good praises of not actual facts. Most of the signatures that we collect, my husband and I camped out at our local flea market every other weekend when we didn't have our son, when he was with his dad. And so we collected signatures then, which was in Trump country. So it was super fun. And then we escorted Spike around Eastern Pennsylvania last August.
Right.
So Spike was a hand in helping to get those signatures. Inevitably, it was a team effort. My name was attached to the petitions because I was at each one of the locations, but it was a team effort. I don't take all of the credit for that. I know my name is the one that's on there, but there was many volunteers that we had at different locations that stepped up and followed us from Williamsport to Scranton to Pittston to Allentown to Quakertown, which is Spike's favorite place, Q-Mart.
Right.
And then Reading, where we got to be part of a protest about a guy who died from the hands of the government over some marijuana. And then into York, where I'm from. So it was the last stop on the tour. So yes, my name was attached to, I think it was almost 300 signatures. But Spike and all of the volunteers that we had that weekend was a huge part of that.
Right. Well, that is a very humble and political answer. So when are you running for something?
I am not running for office. I considered running for mayor of Dallastown, where I live, because the mayor has run uncontested for the last decade. But he is like a landmark in this town. And with the campaigns that I'm on, and I forced my husband basically to run for borough council, because a part of the Moulton Maneuver. I'm assuming you're familiar with the Moulton Maneuver.
I am familiar with the Moulton Maneuver.
There was a 2-year borough seat that was running uncontested in our borough. So my husband's running. So he's one of the 139 candidates that we have on the ballot this November in Pennsylvania, of which 115 of them are uncontested.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah. So I've had a number of candidates and people who are working with the candidates from Pennsylvania on the Writer's Block and on Muddied Waters of Freedom. And yeah, Pennsylvania is absolutely killing it right now. They are doing such great work when it comes to the liberty movement, and they're putting people in at the right places. And I respect that, because as much as I know that you were the state manager for the Jorgensen campaign, the Jorgensen Cohen campaign, and as important as that is in presidential election years, the important work is what we're doing in the years following that, and going after those locals, going after your city councils and your county commissions and state offices and mayorships and all that kind of stuff. That's where real change is going to happen, and where people are going to be able to see how the libertarian policies and how libertarian philosophy is going to work in their communities. And Pennsylvania is doing it right. And I respect all of you that are doing it the way that you are, because it is absolutely amazing seeing the groundswell of people that you have running. And the quality of people. We've got Nicole Schultz in the comments, who is right here. And Nicole...
There too.
Right. And Nicole is fantastic. She was on my show. She is a wonderful human being, and she has a lot of great ideas. And I understand that you are her campaign manager.
She is one of my best friends, and yes, I am her campaign manager.
So what is going? So on top of being the campaign manager for Nicole, I know that you are also the campaign manager for Joe Soloski, who is running for governor, and for Tim McMaster, who is running for Pennsylvania Senate, right? Not Senate, not.
Correct. He ran a special election back in the spring because the Senator Arnold passed due to a brain tumor back in January. So he ran, he got, I believe, the highest percentage a libertarian has got for a state Senate run, which was a little over 3%, if I remember, which is phenomenal. He was not super thrilled, but I'm super thrilled because I know the work that he put in, and I know the work he's going to put in the next year because he's running again in 2022. But yeah, the story with Nicole is super funny. I don't know if she told you of how I convinced her to run for office. Did she tell you?
We talked about it, but not everybody was watching my show, so we can talk about it again.
Okay. Yeah, we do a girls' lunch once a month. It's been on hiatus because of how busy we both have been.
Fair, I can see that.
So typically we do a girls' lunch, and we did it at Cracker Barrel typically because they have like a $5.99 deal and it's really cheap.
Right.
And I was working on Joe's campaign, and we were trying to. There was no one running for lieutenant governor at the time, so I was trying to like see about who we could try and convince to run for lieutenant governor, and I was like venting to her that no one wants to do it, and that we really want someone who's smart and articulate, and that can talk to the masses and has like a story that can reach everybody. And she was like, I'll do it. And I was like, seriously? And she was like, yeah. She's always been libertarian minded and voting and stuff. Right. Same with her husband. Levi, we refer to him as Jesus because of the way he looks. But yeah, she did everything right there. And then she wasn't dues paying at the time. She was actively helping here and there and stuff, but she right there and then paid her dues up, paid her husband's dues up, and we started rolling, and we got her logo, and she jumped right in and made her announcement back in December, the same day as Joe, and the same day as Steve Sheets, who's running for U.S. Senate,
right?
Who I help wherever he needs me on that one campaign too, because why not add another campaign or two? Right,
because 3 isn't enough.
Don't forget my husband's borough run.
Fair. 4 isn't enough. If you're working on or managing 4 campaigns, you can do another one. Like, there's time in the day, especially in York, apparently.
So initially, I actually told Nicole I was not going to be her campaign manager because I didn't want it to affect our friendship, our relationship. And then I realized, I told her I'll help her. Like, I'll give her all of like the signed quotes that I get and all the like literature quotes and stuff. And I was like, at this point, I'm giving you all the work, so why don't I just do it?
Right.
So I just signed up to do it. That's basically how it happens. My husband is my assistant campaign manager for her campaign. So in the event that I have to be somewhere for Joe or Tim, and we need someone with Nicole, we will split and tag team the whole campaigning stuff. Nice.
Yeah, no, so I believe I've had everybody that you are working with on my show. Or on
it's a sign of a good campaign manager.
It's a sign of a great campaign manager. But yeah, like Joe Soloski is one of my favorite people in the world. That man is absolutely incredible. And I just got a water delivery. She heard it in my voice. But yeah, he's the voice of the Muddied Waters of Freedom. He introduces me and Spike every week, and I know that he is going to run a very good campaign. What is it that you're doing on these different campaigns that is going to make a difference in Pennsylvania?
So we're showing a united front because I think that there's a lot of divisiveness, even within parties. That one person says one thing and one says the other, and I don't think that there's.
Dave just said he's the assistant to the campaign manager.
Oh, office quote. Joe and Nicole work really well together, and they technically don't have the nomination yet.
Right.
So we're trying to be humble and realize that we still have to earn the trust and the respect of all the libertarians in Pennsylvania that will be voting in March at convention. But we're trying to show a united front and to talk to the people and to listen specifically, because it's not about what Joe and Nicole want. It's about what the people of Pennsylvania want. It's same with Tim. Tim did a great job with having boots on the ground and going door to door to talk to people. He went to gun shows and everything like that to get the word out. And then we had lots of people standing at the polling places. And that's the key. It's, I can't control whether they put them on the stage during a debate, but I can control how often that they're out and talking to people and knocking doors. And Nicole has Ugly Acres, which I know you're aware of.
They make great jam.
They make fantastic jam. Ugly Orchard is my favorite.
Yes.
Ugly Orchard. Everybody needs to buy all the Ugly Orchard. Anyway, so at her events, she wears Nicole Schultz stuff. And at our street red event, she was actually given mic time to talk about her campaign and everything like that. So she's made connections in the community, and then we're just passing them over and bringing Joe in there too. And I think that that's what's key here, is because I don't know how it is in other states, because I'm too busy to figure out what's happening in other states.
Fair. No,
in
really?
Pennsylvania,
you don't have free time here, huh? That's weird.
No. In my free time, I play 500 on my phone. But anyway, in our state, the lieutenant governor and the governor are two differently elected positions. It's not like the vice president and the president. So we could, in theory, have a Republican and a Democrat, or a Libertarian and a Democrat. But that's why I think showing a strong team effort, that they're able to work together and divide and conquer over the topics, is key. Yes.
No, that's a valid point. So here in Florida, you elect them together. You don't vote for each one individually. If you're voting for a governor, you're getting the lieutenant governor. It's like president, vice president. Like, I'd never really gave it much thought. I'm not sure how I lived in Tennessee for a number of years, but they're very hazy because I was drunk all the time. And I don't remember how they did it there. And in Virginia, it's the same. You got governor, lieutenant governor, same, on the same ballot. So there's so much to unpack here. I don't understand how you do so much in a day. PTO president, coaches t-ball and soccer, active at your church, planning community events, married.
I can tell you if you'd like to know.
I want to know so badly, because I like to think that I'm a busy person. I have a job. I've got a girlfriend. She has two kids, and I'm there for them. And then I got this, and then I've got a side gig, and plus Jason Lyon, Mr. America, the Bearded Truth. He and I are working on some projects as well. And I would really like to know how to balance all of this a lot better.
My answer is not going to really help you, but it can help some other. I'm able to do everything that I do because my husband. He is the one who works full time and allows me the opportunity to work part time. I'm a substitute paraprofessional in our school district, so I'm a teacher's aide. So I kind of get to make my schedule and adjust it, and that is part of. I'm an organization freak. My house is not organized. Let me make that very clear. My house laundry is still sitting upstairs in the washer that needs to be turned to the next cycle and stuff.
I get it.
But when it comes to my schedule, my son comes first, always and forever. My son comes first. And then I try and just navigate everything else. I know that there's some things that are out of my control, and that's why I have a team around me and behind me and beside me to help with things that I can't be at. And that's key, is having a very, very, very supportive husband. And then a team of awesome people. And a lot of those awesome people, I can't believe I'm going to utter this word, one being Joel Getz, are people that I met through the Joe Jorgensen campaign. Bonnie Flair Hardy, Michelle Tiroli, she's got a long last name. And then, Joe, I met through the JoJo campaign, and Tim I met through the Joe campaign. I mean, he's in York too, but we really connected over the Joe Jorgensen campaign. And actually, it was our last sign wave right before the election night that Tim asked me to be his campaign manager. for his, well, originally it was going to be for Conewago Township supervisor. And then Senator Arnold unfortunately passed. And I was like, hey, Tim, this is your area. Like, you should run for this special election.
This really terrible thing that happened to this guy.
I really felt like I was robbing a grave. Like, I literally saw the announcement and went, oh, that's Tim's area. Let me. And I felt horrible. But at the same time, democracy doesn't stop.
That's right.
We just have to, send condolences. And he actually, this is how awesome Tim is. He actually was given the contact information for Senator Arnold's wife. And he is the only one of the candidates that reached out to her to see how she was doing, and advice and just anything, just to check in on her. And she was very appreciative from what I was told. And I believe he may have swayed her to vote for him, but that wasn't why he had done it. He wanted to do it out of respect for her and her,
absolutely.
And her, absolutely. Husband.
It's the right move to make as a decent human being, not as somebody trying to win an election. Like, that's just the right thing to do, and it's fantastic that Tim did that.
Tim's the best. I mean, his whole thing for the campaign was that he's a former wrestler and now he's a goat farmer. Right. And people are like, what? He's legitimately one of the most down to earth people that I've met. And I'm very thankful to call him a friend.
He was a heavy metal drummer, wasn't he? Also.
Yeah, he played in a band and he wrestled Snooki. At one point, I have a picture of him from that match. I think you might have seen it.
I don't think I've seen that, but
if not, I can try and find it if you would like.
Oh, I would love to see this.
But he was legitimately down to earth and just wanted to connect with people on their level, because that's the way we should be as representatives. And when I say we, I mean anybody in politics represents the people. I'm trying to find the picture. And not themselves. So that's what we were trying to convey. I think he deleted it off the group page.
So you said that you're a part-time substitute teacher.
I am.
So let me ask you, because of COVID and everything that's going on, what's going on in Pennsylvania's schools? A little bit. Yes. Wow.
There's Tim. He'll tell you it was 100 pounds ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, that does not look like the Tim I know. What's the schooling like in Pennsylvania right now with everything going on?
So we have Governor Wolf as our governor. And we voted back in May to reduce his powers. Mm-hmm. So, but he, and then Levine was appointed to administration for Biden. So we got rid of her, thank goodness. But what they did was they replaced her with someone not with any medical degree, as our Secretary of Health, or whatever the title is, Director of Health.
Director of Health.
And so they found like a little loophole to go around the emergency powers, and they put a mask mandate in for the state for schools K to 12, regardless of vaccination status. There are some schools in our county that are skirting that rule, where they're allowing parents to sign exemption forms. But Wolf is actually going after practicing physicians who are signing exemption forms and having and requesting the licensing board to review them, which is just skeezy if you ask me. But
yes, I agree. I can't think of much worse.
My friend has a legitimate her doctor literally has given her this exemption, but they said they can't do it right now because of the licensing. I won't say her name, but she's 1/8 Jew, Pentecostal or whatever Jew. Her family died in the Holocaust, so she has problems with all of that. And then you add in her health issues with anemia and things like that cause her to she just has this fear of government overreaching and the mask and what have you. And she said her doctor would not sign an exemption form, even though she has all of the medical needs to get an exemption form. So personally, in our school district, our school board meeting, which was for finance and planning of the stadium that's being built, it wasn't even about masks, was shut down before it even started because parents were refusing to wear masks, had signs, and were like chanting and yelling. And just, I am an advocate for protesting. I have done it myself on many occasions with the Black Lives Matter protest down at our York Catholic school last summer, and I've done stuff with their districts and things like that. But you can't make change if you can't have your voice heard. And so by having the meeting shut down does not allow you to have your voice heard. So I support them in protesting. I just feel like there's a way to have diplomacy
Right.
in the process.
No, I get that. Yeah, Nicole Schultz, future lieutenant governor of the state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Nicole Schultz, said Wolf did the same thing for restaurants and pulled permits.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of ones in this area that stood up to him. And they ended up not paying any fines and not losing any of their license. Round the Clock Diner was one. They were actually on some Fox News and things like that.
Right.
They actually will tell you they're a libertarian leaning business, but then they fully support all of the Republican candidates, which really pissed us off during Tim's campaign because it's right on the skirts of Tim's campaign or district. And I talked to the owners before the Chris Gebhardt had announced his run and got their support, and then they turned around and put this big ass sign for Chris Gebhardt in their parking lot, and I was like, seriously.
Yeah, and so like that's an issue that that I have seen multiple times. Like I've talked with business owners, and back in 2020, people were like, "Yeah, we're going to vote for, we're going to vote for Spike and Joe," and I was like, "Great, that's awesome." And then outside of their business, they would put up Trump or Biden signs, and I was like, "What? But you told me you're going to vote for Spike and Joe. Why are you putting these up?" And they're like, "Well, if we put the other one up, nobody will come, because that's where we are." And I'm like, "Well, then why put up any sign?" Like, yeah. And they said, "Well,
that happened." A friend of mine, business owner in this area, opened a pizza shop in Tim's district, and I'm friends with him because he's the former PTO president of the same school that I am, and he does a lot with the community, and so I've become acquaintance with him, and so I took Tim. I'd asked Darren if I could bring Tim there to meet him, and he said yes, and I got a picture of him and posted on Tim's page, and I shared it in the local community page, and they're like, "Oh, the last business that brought politics in it, got shut down." And it's like, this is just someone running for office stopping to congratulate them on a new business. It's not, Darren didn't put any signs. He let him leave literature just like he lets for everybody else,
right,
by the register, but he didn't put "everyone must vote Tim McMaster" outside the pizza shop. It was just showing someone. See, no one said this about Chris Gebhardt going to a dance studio opening. Like, it's hypocrisy.
It is, and unfortunately, it's like that is where we are as a nation, and people see it as if you don't take a stand, you're taking a stand for the side I disagree with.
Yep.
So everybody feels that they have to take a stand somewhere, and I don't care where the manager of Ruby who the manager of Ruby Tuesdays is going to vote for. I don't even know if that's still a restaurant.
It is.
Okay. I don't care who he's going to vote for. Like, if I want your all-you-can-eat salad bar for lunch, I'm going to come in and get your all-you-can-eat salad bar. So
there are actually people in York. So we have a donut shop called Maple Donuts in York, and they are hardcore Trumpers. They're like, I'm pretty sure they're the ones behind the Biden Taliban billboards that have been popping up everywhere. It says "Make the Taliban Great Again" with a picture of Biden in a turban and a bazooka gun or something. But everyone knows they're Trumpers, and I have friends who are far left that are like, "I love their donuts, but I will not eat there." And I'm like, "Okay, that's your right, but like at the same time, it's a donut." Like,
we have a coffee shop here in town called Conservative Grounds. They're big Biden supporters. No, they're huge Trump supporters. And if you go, I haven't been in. Like, I kind of want to go just for the novelty of it. But if you go in, they have a mock-up of the White House with Trump standing behind the desk. And I'm like, I kind of want to go and broadcast a show from there. Because I think that'd just be funny. And then to have them kick me out. But yeah, like every business everywhere. So I hang out, if anybody watches the show, they know this. I hang out at what kava bars. I don't know if you have them up there. But it's what it's made from a root. It is a root drink. But it gave me when I quit drinking, it gave me somewhere to hang out and socialize with people. But because it is a root drink, you can guess the type of people who open these places or work at these places or hang out at these places. And most of them are not Trump supporters. So, like, I'll go and I'll hang out there, and most of them dislike me vehemently because I'm the reason their candidates lose in most situations.
I love that.
Yeah,
that means I did my job. I want you both to lose.
Yeah, BDSM Guru says, I'm an atheist that would never consider boycotting Chick-fil-A. The food's good, so I go. Yeah, and I don't care about people's political opinions. If the food is good or the product is good, I'm going to go. Like, I don't care. I'm a massive baseball fan. I love the Boston Red Sox. They are
go
my
Nats.
team. You know, I had season tickets their first year. And I've seen them play a lot. I like the Nats. Different division, so it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
So, like, I got the baseball package this year, as I do every year, and people were like, how can you get the baseball package? They're doing all this woke stuff. And I'm like, because where do you draw the line? If I cut out baseball, if I cut out football, if I cut out Amazon, if I cut out every restaurant, if I cut out Starbucks, if I cut out any coffee shop, really, except for conservative grounds, if I cut out all these things that I really like, what am I left with? Like, I still need to have stuff to do. Like, you have to draw the line. And then at some point you have to understand that your money isn't going to make that big of a difference to them. They don't care. They get the advertising money. The advertisers aren't going to pull from them because the advertisers agree with them, so they're going to continue to give them money. Pizza Hut is going to continue to get money because on Friday nights people don't want to cook and they're going to order Pizza Hut, so they're going to continue advertising. So you giving them that $100 in order to catch 162 games of baseball isn't making a bit of difference to them. They don't care if you are a fan.
They really don't.
They don't. They don't care.
We are the little specks on their screen when it comes to things. So yeah,
Sarah, my girlfriend, Sarah, superfan Sarah Anderegg said, except Olive Garden, I will not go to Olive Garden.
I went to Olive Garden for the first time in probably years. I think it was last time I was there was my niece's birthday. I remember because their little character is called Ollie, and that's my son's name. So because of Olive Garden, yeah. So I remember thinking it was super cute. But we were in town on that side, and we had it. And my son loves spaghetti, so we went there. I'm a picky eater, so like I was like, "Can you make this and this and this and this?
Can you mix these things together?" Now, after January 6th, Olive Garden in D.C. Apparently a lot of the, not surprisingly, knowing the people that typically go to Olive Garden, but a lot of the people on January 6th dined at Olive Garden. And then Olive Garden gave the credit card receipts and the video to the FBI. And when they did that, when they did that, I was like, I'm never going back to Olive Garden. I don't care if they're going to give me all the pasta I can eat, or unlimited salad and breadsticks. I feel like I'm advertising for a lot of restaurants. All the salad.
I did Cracker Barrel with their $5.99 lunch.
Right.
So.
We've done Cracker Barrel, Chick-fil-A, Ruby Tuesdays, and Olive Garden. I think that's all owned by like the same company too.
Probably.
James Casaberry says his son is also Oliver. He also says go Nets.
My Oliver is actually kind of named after Green Arrow, Oliver Queen.
Okay.
I wanted like a medieval name, but I wanted something normal, and my ex-husband wanted a superhero, so we agreed on Oliver.
Agreed on Oliver. I like it. I've been trying to convince Sarah, superfan Sarah Anderegg, that if we ever have children, to let me name that child Finway. after the Red Sox ballpark.
Sarah, don't let him do that.
She is standing strong on no.
Oliver's original name was going to be Lincoln after Prison Break.
Okay.
Yeah. I use a lot of TV references for my life.
I was like, wow, that's unlike most libertarians I know.
Yeah, it was Lincoln. Yeah, but
so you guys have an event coming up this weekend, correct?
we do. Liz Terwigler, Liz, I apologize. Don't murder me. Liz has a campaign event called Perspectives of Freedom, which is primarily libertarian based. However, there are some outside voices that are going to be there to help kind of spread some knowledge across the board. Michelle, I believe, is the Democratic chair for Snyder County, and she will be there talking with Mark Bizzacco on a couple topics. It's got a wide range of spokespeople, from Nick and Valerie Starrock to Spike, to Thomas Queter. We all know those kind of names that we saw them already in the commercials. Steve Sheets, our former chair, is going to be talking with Jen Moore on navigating a toxic political environment, which I think is a key thing.
Jen Moore is the current chair.
Current chair, yes, and Steve's the former chair. But we also have like Adam Reinhardt, who's our Eastern Vice Chair, who's also a pastor or preacher. I don't know. He's in religion. He's Lutheran, I think. Anyway, he and the chair, the founder of Muslims for Liberty, will be doing a thing about faith and freedom. And then there's a whole list of people. Cajun is going to be up here.
Oh, wow.
He'll be up here doing some stuff. Bonnie, who I mentioned from the Joe Jorgensen campaign, is also running a special election campaign, and she's actually our state secretary. By the way, real quick, Nicole is actually the LPPA treasurer now, too, on top of everything she does. But Bonnie will be there. She'll be doing a thing with Spike, I believe, on decriminalizing addiction. They'll be talking about military. Sam Robb and Sally, who's one of the people on Liz's campaign, Sally's husband Luke, will be talking with Sam Robb and I believe Cajun about military stuff. So they've got a wide range. Thomas Queter is going to be talking about healthcare and disability. So there's a lot of topics.
What does Thomas Queter know about healthcare and disability, though? I'm
not sure. I don't know why we would have such an outsider to the topic talk about it. So.
I have no idea.
He's just going to run away with the topic. So there's a little plug for him. For those that don't want to endure the LPPA meeting, will be able to enjoy Thomas's presentation. So there's a hard stop on that LPPA meeting. So what's nice about the Perspective of Liberty, Perspective of Freedoms event is that anybody can go to the LPPA meeting. They'll just have to get a ticket. And what Liz did was she kept open, because she knew it was going to be on tonight talking about it, open the registration for the lower fee till tonight. If anybody wants to sign up, they can just go to her website.
And what is that website?
Liz Terwigler.
Oh,
here,
man.
Hold on. I have it right here. Let me do the job. I'll put it in the comments.
Thank you.
There you go.
Because I was like, man, you are asking me to spell that last name right now, and
so their link is in the comments. You just go there and you can sign up for the cheaper cost for the event. And then late registration the pricing will go into effect Friday, Saturday at the door, and Sunday at the door. Friday is like the whole event is pretty awesome, but Friday is Smash for Charity. And what that is they will be at the break room where they will get to smash plates with bats and stuff with Spike and Natasha.
I was like, is this a sex work is real work event? Because you're smashing for charity, and will this be live streamed?
I'm not sure about the live stream. I know that a lot of the sessions will be recorded. I believe that's what I heard from Liz. But Friday, all the proceeds from Friday will be split between the two charities. Liz does phenomenal work in her community. She's at fairs, talking to people and getting out there, just like, I tried to do with my people. She actually put together a dresser recently with toiletries. The drawers, instead of pulling out, fold down.
Fold down.
And yeah, fold down. And there's toothpaste and deodorant and feminine products for those that need them. And they restock it. And there's also been some fruit and vegetables that they've put on it. So she's doing a lot to try and spread the word. She got hammered last year. They challenged her for ballot access, and she was short like 20 signatures or something like that. It was brutal.
Which that she got there, and it was some minimal thing that they tossed. They were just like, toss them out, toss them.
Well, the problem was that she got almost 1,000 signatures by herself, and they're like, no one person can do that. And it's like, Liz can. Yeah. Liz absolutely can, and she's got a phenomenal team behind her too. And I think that's key when it comes to any of these campaigns, is making sure you have the great people on. I mean, Joel's on my campaign team, but some are questionable, but that's the key, is having a good team behind you to support you and everything like that. And that's what Liz has. That's what I'm trying to build with Joe. And Joe, just for the record, will also be the opening remarks on Saturday at Perspectives of Freedom. So, and Nicole will be there. She's not speaking. She's had some health issues recently, so she's kind of taking it easy a little bit while still trying to stay on top of Ugly Acres and the campaign and stuff. Right. So she will be there and talking with people and letting them get to know her a little bit more. Same with Joe, and Tim will be there as well.
Excellent. Well, no, that sounds amazing. And you're right. The team behind you is what really matters in any of these things. What I have said for years now is that if you want to win, especially in locals, if you want to win, the person that knocks on the most doors wins. So having the boots on the ground, having a candidate that's willing to go door to door to talk to everybody in town to say, hey, I'm Matt Wright. I'm running for city council. I want to talk to you about my vision. I want to hear what you need, what you want from the city council, and then we can figure out if I'm the right candidate for you. And having a team that knows all of the answers and having them willing to go out and knock on doors. Whoever has the most doors wins in local elections. Absolutely.
That's the absolute truth. And being able to be your true authentic self along the way, I think is also key, because people are easy to read if you're being fake and stuff. That's one of the things, if I can plug my own county affiliate for a second.
Please do.
Here in York, we try and do as much as we can in the community. It's a big, as the community organizer for York's LP, that's one of the things that I make a goal for our county. I mean, we just collected over 700 pounds of food to donate to the local baseball stadium that works with our Hunger Free Mondays, which are with our local food banks. We donated over 700 pounds of food for that. We've done the street fair, where we talked to a bunch of people and gave lollipops out, and it's not necessarily knocking doors, but it's getting down to the ground where they are instead of expecting them to come to you. And I think that that's key, is being out there. I mean, we've done community cleanups. We've gone into York City and cleaned up. And now we're working with one of our guys in our county. Martin has a business, Clean Green Cuts Landscaping. And his goal is he personally will be going into York City once a month to do maintenance work on shrubbery and yards and stuff like that. And he's just asked us as the local affiliate to come with him once every 2 months. So that's a goal thing that we're doing too, because
that's awesome.
I talk way more to people when I'm out there cleaning up their garbage, because they're like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because this is what we believe in. We believe that when the government is removed, that people will step up and they will help out where needed, whether it be trash cleanup or helping feed the hungry or anything like that. That's one thing we did during JoJo's campaign, is we got people in our county and a local business, Central Family. I'm going to plug him. Carl, he's a huge libertarian, and he actually used to be a central hub spot for literature for campaigns in the area, and I actually took Spike there. We all donated food and went out and served the homeless down here, and I think that's the key to remember is that it isn't the big rich areas that will win you the votes. It's the everyday people and showing people that you legitimately care and you're not just trying to do it for a photo op. And that's what all my campaigns and any campaign that I help on to advise, which I did a few back in the special elections in the spring, I really tried to convey is that you need to get out there, knocking doors, doing community events, helping out where possible, and just showing them, like Tim said, he's a man of the people for the people.
Excellent. Absolutely. And you're right. You have to be sincere. You have to be out there with the people, because it's not going to be the rich people that get you elected. It's going to be it's going to be the middle class, the lower middle class, and the lower class. Like, they are the people that are going to get you elected. And if you can talk to them sincerely and let them know that you care, you will win. But you have to do that face to face. You can't do that through TV commercials and through targeted Facebook ads. You have to do it face to face.
Spike's actually one of the people that have helped me navigate how to talk to people, because when he was in Williamsport last summer, it was our first stop with Liz, and he ended up talking to this guy that was going into the courthouse, and he got talking and heard his story about addiction and the war on drugs and everything like that. And Spike was like, telling him about everything that he's trying to do and how him and Joe Jorgensen are going to do this if they're elected and everything, and how it's going to change it for the next person who won't have to go in his steps. And both him and Spike, the guy and Spike, were both like tears in their eyes. Like, Spike has a way to talk to people on their level without making them feel like he's dumbing it down. It's amazing. And if you haven't had the chance to hear Spike talk in person, like, take the journey. But it was unfortunate because Spike was like, oh, he's a convicted felon, like, he can't vote. And I was like, hold on. And I like darted after this guy before he got into and I was like, as long as you don't have any kind of like probation or fines, like, you don't have any debt to the state, you can vote. And he was like, oh, I still have fines. So it's like, the moment those are done, you can vote, just so you know that you can vote. And Spike was like, I learned something new today.
Right. Yeah. And that's different in every state too. So
yeah.
Like here in Florida, I think 7 years. I think it's 7 years and no fines or probation. I think once you're done with that in 7 years, you can vote again. And I disagree with it vehemently, but I think once
my husband has actually talked about trying to start a nonprofit to go out and reach out to convicts, whether in prison currently or in halfway houses, because, they're given such misguided information on what they can and cannot do. And, he spent a little bit of time. He did some stupid stuff when he was in his 20s, as most people have. Some just didn't get caught. And he's a product of finding, not knowing exactly, but having to educate himself. So we're trying to look at different avenues. With COVID, it's really put a hindrance on it because, they're not allowed to have visitors and stuff like that, like they would typically have prior to COVID into there. So we're trying to navigate different ways. Another thing to add to my list of things to do. But it's
you don't have
cause.
enough.
I mean, they're all worthwhile causes.
They are.
If I'm honest, I wouldn't do them. I wouldn't take the time out of my schedule if I didn't feel like it is. And I do believe that you should talk the talk and walk the walk. So if I believe that government is removed, people will step up. I want to be a proof of that.
There is absolutely nothing I can say to top that. Well, I mean, that. So we'll go out on that note. Pitch everything that you want to pitch, because yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, pitch. If you want to help get Joe Soloski elected, joesoloski.com. You can make donations. We're currently printing up a lot of literature to hand out at parades. We're doing rally signs, kind of like the Joe Jorgensen 11x14 ones. One side says "Fighting for Your Freedom," and the other side has a logo. And then same with Nicole, NicoleSchultz.com. That's without a C, SHULTZ, as you can see behind Matt's head. We're doing rally signs to hand out at parades and everything for her as well.
That's NicoleSchultz.com, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's her. Yeah. We tried to make it simple for these, just having the names.com. And then Tim McMaster is running for a Senate campaign, which he did pretty much on his own budget. He pretty much funded his whole campaign, with the exception of a billboard and a couple $100 from some people. And so he's planning on running in 2022, and we are trying to gear up for that as well. So timforpa.com. to donate to Tim. All of that money goes straight to the campaign to spread the word, get stuff to go door knocking, and get literature out to people and show them that the libertarian way is the right way.
Is that the number 4 or FOR?
I believe it is the number 4.
Okay. I wanted to make sure before I hit send.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I was like, I typed it and I went, I don't know which 4 this is.
So we just changed his, because we had a Tim for 2021 website, but because he is running in 2022, we changed it to be more like generic.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't actually physically typed that address in yet, because I don't control the website. He does it with another guy. So
that's right.
I just kind of get told, hey, can you check this out and make sure it looks okay? And then I get sent the link. So let's see it work. There's Tim's handsome face.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you not watching the Cowboys and the Redskins or the Washington football
Redskins
team.
and Giants.
Yes,
it's a heap of crap and a heap of crap fighting for a ball.
I was so focused on not messing up the Washington football team, which I still did. I missed the Giants and I said Cowboys. So I appreciate you not watching the Giants and the Washington football team to hang out with me on this beautiful Thursday night, this Yom Kippur Day 2, which I think is.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. When I was asked to be on, I was like, me? Why do you want to talk to me? But okay, sure, let's have this fun night.
Right, I absolutely wanted to talk to you because I wanted to know how you do all that you do. And do you rent Dave out? That's a question.
I mean, it's never been asked, but we can negotiate.
Right. Also, superfan Sarah Anderegg has decided she's going to Pennsylvania to have coffee with you and Nicole because apparently women who somehow pack 30 hours into a day all want to hang out together too.
Well, we have a cute little coffee shop up here. It's at my church. It's called Common Grounds. So we can go there. They've got a really good smoothie too. So.
That is much.
I cut caffeine out, so that's why I'm drinking milk. I drink only milk and water now. Oh. So I don't even run on caffeine to do all the stuff that I do.
And that's even more impressive. But if you still drank coffee and still used caffeine, I would say for 1/7 of the caffeine, you could switch to mud water. muddywatersmedia.com/mud /mud and make the switch from coffee to mud water today. No, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate it. Everybody that you are working with, I'm a huge fan of. Everything going on in Pennsylvania right now, I'm a huge fan of. So if you or anybody on any of your campaigns need anything, Muddied Waters Media is here to help. So just reach out, let me know, let me know because Spike's busy.
He is super busy.
He is super busy.
My son is so sad because he's not going to the Perspectives of Freedom and he has yet to meet Spike. He met Joe Jorgensen, but Spike has made them little videos and stuff to say hi to him. Right. He's all upset that he doesn't get to meet Spike this weekend. So I'm going to try and get my husband to get some time with Spike that he can call in and FaceTime with him. Nice.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. Anything that you guys need, Muddied Waters is here for you. Let me know, let Jason know, let Cajun know, and we will all get messages that way. Don't let Spike know because nobody knows if we'll hear from him. But
no, we won't. He doesn't read his messages until like 2 months later.
Right. I text him, and we own a business together, and I'm like, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to hang out for a little bit after the show, please do. I'm just going to close it out, and we can talk afterwards. If you have to go, just wave to me goodbye and just hit end.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you so much to Kristine Cousler-Womack for coming on. I was so nervous about saying that last name. I overthought it every single time I said it. Kristine Cousler-Womack. we have another huge week here at Muddied Waters Media. Tomorrow, you have a brand new episode of Cajun and Eskimo from Bayous to Igloos. Spike will be in Pennsylvania this weekend, and I'm certain there will be footage of stuff from that coming up. We have on Monday a new episode of Mr. America, The Bearded Truth, happening at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then on Tuesday, Spike Cohen and yours truly will be parsing through the week's events, like the sweet, sweet little summer boys that we're still in summer, right? Yeah, I think we're still in summer.
No.
Are we not? Are we in autumn? Yeah, I think we're officially still in summer. We're like the sweet summer boys that we are. We aren't autumn cherubs yet. We are still sweet summer boys. And then next Wednesday, Spike Cohen, I'll even tell you who he has on. Spike Cohen has an episode of My Fellow Americans with Maurice Chama. And then next Thursday, join me right back here for the makeup episode with Randall Daniel. And I'm very sorry to Randall for not being able to do the episode last time, but a storm knocked out the power. That is what happens in Florida summers. So we get the makeup episode next Thursday at 8 o'clock. And boy, do I have an opening question for that guy. Because it's going to make the rest of the interview really awkward, and it's going to be great. So tune in. We've got Muddied Waters Media 5 days a week. Remember, if you want to, you can... You can become a member of the Muddied Waters family. I forget how loud that is. You can become a member of the Muddied Waters family by going to anchor.fm/muddiedwaters/subscribe. And for $9 a month, you will get exclusive content. You will get invited to a exclusive Facebook group where you will be able to see more exclusive content, and you will get the information for the Muddied Zooms, where we will be having them once a month, where you will be able to chat with me, with Spike, with Jason, with Cajun, with others, and it is going to be a blast every single time. So sign up today for the Muddied Waters subscription experience. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Your fun fact of the week, the first person to get a speeding ticket, to get convicted of speeding, was going 6 miles over the speed limit at a raging 8 miles an hour. At a raging 8 miles an hour. He was going 6 miles over the speed limit of 2. So keep that in mind. Remember, government is stupid. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing all of you all next week. And have a fantastic weekend. Tune in tomorrow for Cajun and Eskimo. And for Muddied Waters Media and for the Writer's Block, I am Matt Wright, and you are perfect just the way you are.
I am swinging from a 7-story window, throwing parties in a 10-by-7 cell. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help. Yeah, I am waving while I drown. Don't bother swimming out to save me, I will only drag you down. I'll try to use your body as a life raft, 'cause if there's room enough for one, there must be room enough for two. I'll sail the good ship you into the sunset, sipping on savory water till my liver turns blue. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Places broadcast in the evening news. I Hey, alright, yeah, I wrote that one myself. It's astounding the lengths I'll go to convince the whole damn world I don't need anybody's help.